Good morning, Bayside Realty. How can I help you?
Yeah, it's Joe. Is Robert there?
No, I'm sorry. Robert's not available. Can I take a message?
I need to talk to him about the listing on Parsons Street.
Okay, what was that?
The listing on Parsons Street.
Can you repeat that, please?
Just tell him to give me a ring later.
Okay, yes. I'll tell him to give you a ring. Oh, great. Robert's out. What now? And where did these two folders come from?
Cognition and information processing. Often, we make quick assumptions about people without having enough information.
C-224.
Okay. Do you know where that is? Or do you have to look it up on your map?
It's over there.
Okay.
One of our students in particular requires more processing time than the majority of our students. And it's very important because he's a very, very bright young man. And he will not outwardly tell you, I'm frustrated that you didn't listen to me or hear me out. But you can sort of see it, and his face sort of drops like, I did not complete my thought.
If I have any questions, I know who to ask.
You're doing a terrific job. Can you come teach my kids how to fold towels? Because they don't fold as good as you.
Misconception.
I know what individuals with ASD are capable of by what I see.
Correction. Individuals on the autism spectrum have a range of cognitive and learning abilities. Just because an individual does not respond right away or communicates differently doesn't mean that they are not capable. There are several areas in which cognition and processing may be impacted for individuals on the autism spectrum. These may include paying attention, planning and organizing information, and solving problems. Consider everything that you might experience in everyday activities like crossing a busy city street. We may not be aware that we are processing all of these things at once. Sometimes we can tune out irrelevant information and only focus on the most important things. Individuals on the spectrum often process information differently.
Michael, do you want a marker, do you need, or a crayon? Open it. No.
You might think that because Michael didn't respond to his friend, he was not learning or able to complete the task. But this is not the case.
Michael, can you trace the dots? Trace the dots. There's a hair.
Leah, if you need help, you can ask Olivia for help.
Em, go ahead and walk that way, okay?
Hi.
Misconception.
There's only one way to teach.
Correction. Individuals with ASD can learn when we match how we teach to how they learn.
Research has shown us that the brains of children with autism function somewhat differently from the brains of typically developing children. For example, we know that children with autism don't have strength in that frontal part of the brain which processes language. Instead, they are stronger in the areas of the brain that process visual information. So in this case, children would be seen as stronger visual learners than auditory learners.
I think visually, and so you know how like those old-fashioned Rolodexes? Well, like I have those in my head, but they have pictures on, and so that all like my neurology goes for the match, and they have to all flip through until I find the match. So I'm not like unintelligent. It just takes me a little bit.
Individuals with ASD often process information logically and visually. At times, they may have difficulty understanding abstract labels and figures of speech. These concepts may need to be taught.
Let's go ahead and do the idiom of the week. Did you see what it is?
Yeah.
Having cold feet. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
No, look at her. She's laying in the snow, and look at her feet. Can you see what color they are?
Blue.
They're blue. I think they're very cold. Have you heard somebody say, "Are you having cold feet?"
Yes.
It means too frightened to do something that you'd plan to do if you're having cold feet. Like maybe you were going to try for a job and you decide, "Oh, I'm too nervous. I'm too scared. I don't want to do that."
Sometimes, individuals with ASD have difficulties paying attention to what is happening around them. They may get distracted or not focus on what is most important.
Good job, Leah. Nice listening.
Throw ball. Whoa. Okay, you can go get it. You want to go get it?
Today's Wednesday.
Is that the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your answer.
Attention to details and memorizing facts, especially about their specific interests, can be strengths for individuals on the spectrum.
For me, it's a different way that my mind functions, my brain functions. And being able to have a sharper memory in some aspects. When I was a kid, I memorized, from my church, I memorized some scripture stories from my kids' version of that. And having a memory like that, to me, is such a blessing. It's such a gift.
His memory would be what he would use to kind of offset some of the other things that, you'd see him literally memorize tons of stuff and even memorize reactions on how to do things. And that was one of the most interesting things for us because we have two kids that are neurotypical. But for Cam and for Jordan, they learn differently, but their assets are that they can focus on things, far better, far longer. Watching Jordan with his golf, he can focus on that, and once he gets honed in on it, it's incredible things they can do.
I'm a musician. I love that. I take a keen interest in that, musical instruments, teaching kids musical instruments, and being able to focus, to hone in on a specific skill or trait is something that's very, very much on the spectrum and very much a positive aspect of the spectrum.
Planning, organizing, and problem solving are important to many aspects of learning and interacting. Individuals with ASD often need more time to organize and process what is happening around them. They may need support in understanding and following through with expectations.
When we look to hire someone to come into our home and help Josh, we really want someone who they're going to get a lot out of it. And they're going to also understand the obstacles with working with Josh and understand that, he may not grasp things right away. It's going to take a little extra time. Or that also understanding how he learns and breaking down steps and helping him get through little pieces a little bit at a time until he's, understands the entire concept of what we're trying to do with him. We'll pick out 3 things. We're going to pick out 1, 2, 3 things.
There we go. Can you get it right along the line?
But I can't do it.
Yeah, you can. I bet you can. Here, I'll face it like that, and then you can do it.
Notice how the child examines the ball and the magnet to problem solve which will make a mark on the board.
I don't think that's going to make marks.
Often, tasks that may seem simple actually have several steps involved, meaning that there is a lot of information to process.
Things that might seem simple, things like brushing teeth or shaving, actually have up to 18 and 16 steps that we have broken them into. Everything from the very beginning of picking up the toothpaste and untwisting the cap, picking up the toothbrush, putting the toothpaste on the toothbrush, turning on the water, getting the toothbrush wet. And that's before you've even gotten to the actual brushing teeth part.
We're going to do must-haves. You ready? Yeah. All right, you have your James badge.
Check.
Yes. We don't need your Dublin badge today. Do you have your training plan here?
It is actually
Great. Phone?
right here.
Good.
I have
iPod?
your schedule out.
Or iPad, okay? So look, on a Monday morning, you have everything that you need.
It is important to understand the focus and interest of the individuals throughout their lives. For young children, engage in their selected activities. Be sure that you recognize and support the interests of the individual as they grow. Provide individuals on the spectrum time to process information and respond. Speak simply and clearly. Remember that individuals with ASD have more difficulty processing lots of information at once. Visuals can also help with information processing. Now that you understand characteristics related to cognition and information processing, let's consider emotional regulation.